The Russian army keeps trying to attack Lysychansk and Severodonetsk. They hit the cities almost non-stop. 12 people were killed in Severodonetsk over the past day, and more than 60 houses were damaged in the region. However, the assault on Severodonetsk was unsuccessful. The Russians suffered losses in personnel and withdrew, according to regional reports. It was also possible to evacuate 38 people from the hot spots.
The police of the Luhansk region managed to go to Bilogorivka and pick up 8 people today. Residents of Lysychansk and Severodonetsk also departed, including 12 people who decided to leave the school that was shelled in Severodonetsk in the morning. Those who decided not to evacuate were moved to other shelters in the city. In total, 38 people were evacuated, including 12 children. Serhiy Haidai, head of the Luhansk Regional Military Administration.
The shelling also continues in the Donetsk region. The Russians killed 3 civilians over the past day. 5 more people were wounded. In 3 months of the war, Russian soldiers have killed 400 civilians in the Donetsk region, says the head of the local military administration Pavlo Kyrylenko. However, this is only the official data. The real number is much more.
The exact number of victims in Mariupol and Volnovakha cannot be specified yet. All Russians will be punished for their crimes on Ukrainian land. Pavlo Kyrylenko, head of the Donetsk Regional Military Administration.
The Ukrainian forces in the south eliminated 36 soldiers of the Russian army, 3 enemy T-72 tanks, a Grad multiple rocket launcher and automobile equipment during the past day. And the Russian soldiers who joined the Ukrainian armed forces and became the Freedom of Russia Legion took captive the Kremlin soldiers who arrived to fulfill criminal orders in Ukraine. The Russian occupiers launched a number of missiles at the Odesa region the day before. According to preliminary information, there were no casualties. However, the enemy shell hit one of the infrastructure facilities.
The rockets hit where they hit. The smell of ammonia is a small lake there. There is a smell, but the state emergency service reports that everything is fine. I wish we didn't have such a wind in Mykolaiv and Odessa. The concentration is minimal there. There is nothing to worry about.
And this is the consequences of a missile strike on the House of Culture in the city of Lozova in the Kharkiv region. 8 people were wounded, including an 11-year-old girl. The enemy fired 3 missiles at the region. 2 were successfully shot down, said the head of the Kharkiv Regional Military Administration Oleg Synehubo, but 1 hit the target. This caused a fire in the building. Rescuers quickly extinguished it. The explosion also damaged the multi-story buildings nearby. The Russian occupiers have damaged 30% of residential buildings in Kharkiv since the beginning of hostilities. Local authorities reported that since people were left with no roof over their heads, the city decided to start constructing buildings without waiting for the end of the war. Meanwhile, in temporarily occupied Melitopol, the Russians started handing 10,000 rubles to pensioners in exchange for personal data. In neighboring Vasilivka, such assistance was also offered to state employees. However, in order to receive the payment, you need to have your identity documents. The Ukrainian intelligence is sure that Putin is at an absolute dead end right now. He cannot stop the war and he cannot win it. After all, to stop the bloodshed, he must admit that Russia is not at all the strong and great state he wanted to present, and the fighting will continue until we take back all the occupied territories.
I don't know any borders other than those of 1991 who can force Ukraine to freeze the conflict. This is a war of all Ukrainians. And if anyone in the world thinks they can dictate terms under which Ukraine can or cannot defend itself, they are seriously mistaken. Kirill Budanov, Chief of the Defense Intelligence of Ukraine.
Reported by Roman Smoler, Mariana Krechet, UATV News.